Okay, hi everybody. Rabbi Dexter here. Unfortunately, my camera is not working, but I am going to be preparing for you a lesson in Chumash today, January 10th. It is Monday, and it's my last day of quarantine, so I'm hoping to see you guys tomorrow. And for today, I wanted to complete this following assignment. I'd like you for Chumash to open up to page 17 in your green booklet. We're going to be doing 17 and 18 today. We're doing the last 10 pasukim in Parshas Bamidbar, from Mem Aleph to Nun Aleph, 10 pasukim. We're not going to do them all like you think. You've already done Mem and Mem Aleph, supposedly. We did write them on the board in my PDF, but I'm going to review them today in case you need to hear them again, and you'll be able to translate. We're only going to be doing the translations today. We'll be filling in the questions tomorrow. So Mem Aleph, which you've already done, so you could just listen to the recording quickly or fast forward till I get to Mem Beis and Mem Gimel, which you'll need to do. Those are going to be brand new. And then Mem Vav through Nun Aleph, we're going to translate. You're going to be responsible for listening to my translation and filling in the matching. Okay, so let's jump right in. And this way we'll be able to complete and finish Parshas Bamidbar, and we can talk about a potential siyum coming up when I return. Okay, so Pasuk Mem. Vayomer Hashem Moshe. We already know that God says to Moshe, Pakod kol bechor zachar libnei Yisrael. Please count all the firstborn males of the children of Israel from Ben Chodesh Ramala, from 1 month and up, Besa es Mispar Shmosam, and please take a census, a counting of their names, a recording of their names, all the firstborns of Israel. Now I'm on the second part, this one right here, Mem Aleph, right here. Es Halaviyim, Li, Ani Hashem. You should take for me the Leviyim, I am Hashem. Tachas kol bechor b'mnei Yisrael, in place of. Tachas means underneath, but here it means in place of every firstborn in Israel. Ve'es behemas halaviyim, and then the animals of the Leviyim, tachas kol bechor behemas b'nei Yisrael, in place of all the firstborn animals of b'nei Yisrael. Very simple. We did those two already. If you need to re-listen to the translation to write down what I'm saying, if I'm going too fast, please rewind and write them in. I'll be checking tomorrow to give you grades on the assignment. There will also be a posted assignment at the end of class, at the end of this video, and you'll have to take the questionnaire on your Chromebooks after this video. Pasuk Mem Beis, brand new translation. Pasuk Mem Beis. We're going down here to the bottom. Please write this in. Vayivkod Moshe ka'asher tiva Hashem oso. Moshe counted just as Hashem commanded him. As kol bechor b'nei Yisrael, all of the firstborn among b'nei Yisrael. That's the translation. Very simple, only a few words. Please translate as best you can. If you need to re-listen to what I just said, please rewind. Pasuk Mem Gimel, the next pasuk says, Vayehi kol bechor zachar, and all of the firstborn men, b'mispar shemos, according to their names, ben chodesh ramala l'vekudehem, from 1 month and up, according to their number, Shnayim ve'esrim elef, there were 22,000, Shlosha ve'shivim u'masayim, 273, 22,273. Now, when we went through the Leviyim, it counted them as 22,000, as we know beforehand. Even though if you add up all the Shvatim of Gershon, Kehath, and Merari, we got 22,300 or something like that. So here it's 22,273. Good. Pasuk Mem Dalet. Vayidaber Hashem Moshe lemor. Hashem says to Moshe, Kach es Leviyim tachas kol bechor b'nei Yisrael. Take a Levi in place of a firstborn. He says it again. Es behemas Leviyim tachas behemtam. De'ayu li Leviyim ani Hashem. And they will be for me the Leviyim. I am Hashem your God. Says the same thing over again in Pasuk Mem Hey. It's a repetition. And Pasuk Mem Vav, he says we're going to start the matching. So just to summarize Pasuk Mem through Mem Hey, it's just please take the Leviyim in place of all the Bechors. And if you look closely, there are 273 Bechors that are in addition to the Leviyim. There are extras in the Leviyim. Where did those 300 Leviyim go that we know you can add up Gershon, Kehath, Merari? So I think Adam Edelman pointed this out, or somebody pointed this out in class. They themselves, maybe Shua Pell, they themselves were the Bechors, maybe Tushel actually. They themselves were the Bechors, and so they are disqualified. They don't need anybody to cancel them out, so they don't count in the counting because they're already taking their own place. because they're Levi, but they're Bechor, so they don't need to cancel out from another Bechor. Only Leviim that were not Bechors of their family, like me, I was a Bechor. Only Leviim who were not Bechors, they have to get canceled out, they have to cancel out of Bechor. So that's where the difference comes in. But there are 273 firstborns that didn't have a Levi counterpart. 22,000 got canceled, but then there was 273 Bechors left. So what are they supposed to do? So Moshe Rabbeinu said the following: if I don't make a lottery, then the people who are going to come to me and they're going to say, I'm not one of the 273 extras. I had a Levi cancel me out because the leftovers, as you'll see, needed to do a special thing. So you'll see what Moshe Rabbeinu had to do. Ves peduye hashalosha v'hashivim u'masayim, and for the counting or the redemption, and for the redeeming of peduye, like pidyon haben, ves peduye hashalosha v'hashivim u'masayim, the redemption of the 273 extra bechors, ha'odfim, the extras, al leviim mi bechor b'nei Israel, the excess of the leviim from the bechors, meaning there were 273 more bechors than they were leviim. What are you supposed to do with their redemption? So Hashem tells Moshe in pasuk Mem Zayin, "Lekachta chameshes shkalim lagulgolas." Take 5 silver shekels. That's what we do today. We do this in honor of this ceremony. Take 5 silver shkalim. The shekel kodesh tikach, according to the shekel weight, the holy shekel. Esrim geira hashekel, 20 geiras to the shekel. It's just telling you exactly how much a shekel is worth. Give that money to Aaron and his children, which is where we get our custom to do pidyon ben today. You shall give the money to Aaron or to a Kohen. And this will be the redemption for the extra people, the 273 people. They will be redeemed instead of a firstborn for a Levi, because there's no more Levium. There are only 22,000. They'll have to be redeemed for 5 secular coins. Vayikach Moshe es kesef hapeduyim, and Moshe Rabbeinu counted up all this money, me'eis ha'otzim al peduya helavim, from all of the redemptions of the people from the firstborns, in place of the Levium. Pasuk Nun, second to last pasuk in the parsha. Me'eis bechor b'nei Israel lakach ezakeza, the amount of money that he took from all the bechors of Israel were chamisha v'shishim u'shalosh me'os v'elef. There were 1,365 shkalim, the shekel kodesh, in the holy shekel. If you did the math, that means 273 times 5. That gives you 1,365 shkalim. What did they do with the shkalim? Vayitei Moshe es kesef habaduyim le'aron u'levanav. He gave it, as Hashem said, to Aaron and his children, to the Kohanim, al pi Hashem, just as Hashem said, Kasher tiva Hashem es Moshe, just as Hashem commanded Moshe, and that is the end of Parshas Bamidbar. Now, what is up with the procedure? How did it work? So these 273 bechors, firstborns, they were extra. They didn't want to be extra because then they'd have to pay money. You see, they had to pay 5 silver coins. So all the bechors, all the firstborns, all they really wanted to be was a part of the non-excess, part of the 22,000. This way, as you guessed it, they'd be able to be canceled out by Levi for free, and then they wouldn't have to pay any money. So nobody's going to want to be in those 273 leftovers because those people are not going to have a Levi to cancel them out, and they're going to need to pay 5 silver coins. So Moshe Rabbeinu had to come up with a strategy, and we're going to learn in Rashi. We'll learn it more in depth tomorrow. But Moshe Rabbeinu decided, I'm going to put everyone's name in a hat, and you're going to come in and you're going to pick a hat, basically pick a name, and the name will be written down. And basically on here it'll either say shekel or it'll say Levi, basically. So you come in, you take your name, you pick one out of the hat, it'll say shekel or Levi. There were 22,000 Levi, pieces of paper, and there were 273 5 shekel coins. And all the bechors lined up, and they each took a paper, and the 273 people that took the paper that said shkalim would have to be the ones that paid the shkalim. Now, that was basically a ceremony that we're going to discuss tomorrow. We finished the parsha basically after we finish in these, writing in these questions. And so for your assignment today, using this little video, rewind if you need to, it's posted on YouTube, and go through it. Please make sure that you're filling in Mem Aleph, Mem Beis, Mem Gimel, and then using the last few pasukim from Mem Vav to Nun Aleph, locate the words that I discussed and please match them if you can't already. Match them with their translation. We will go through the she'elot, the questions, both on page 17 and page 18 with this Rashi on Wednesday, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll be starting Parshas Naso, which can be found on page 19, which I may not have given you yet. That'll be a new packet right after we return. So please use this video, go back and forth, and also don't forget, after you're finished writing these in, please check Google Classroom for a posted for just general questions about today's lesson. Thank you very, very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.